inspire you to begin your path on yoga and to begin to practice consistently on the mat. Weekly classes are important. They help to ignite your practice, that you are able to optimize your time on the mat and be able to draw in more of the benefits that yoga offers. Yoga practice weekly engages different parts of the body. It gives you a full body stretch. It allows you to be able to practice more freely and more consistently in different asanas as you go along in your practice. Vinyasa begins to give ignition. It gives mobility and stability on your practice. It also gives you that inertia, that drive to continue to engage and to be more mobile within your feet and on your feet and all throughout your daily practice. Power yoga series, the inversions as well as the upliftment, the beginning to flow freely on different sides, whether it's forward or into backwards, into back bends or into forward bends, allows you to be able to stabilize your practice and be more consistent with your movements. It also gives that practice that allows you to lift up your sternum more straighter, and you begin to feel the surface changes that yoga gives you already. You no doubt have already begun to feel the surface changes. Perhaps you walk more freely and are more comfortable and more intact with your movement. You feel the vertebrae lifting you up, and you are more mobile and more comfortable within your body within this asanas. So learning to practice yoga more consistently, 20 minutes on the mat daily will do more for you than 3 or 1 hour or so every now and then. So when we practice more consistently on the mat, it gives us the opportunity to be able to optimize all of our times here on the mat. But it's alone at home on your mat that you begin to really feel the deeper meaning of yoga and begin to draw in the benefits that yoga gives you more consistently and more amount of time. As it passes, it gives you more comfortability and it gives you all the benefits that yoga enjoys, the full body maximized practice. So I hope to inspire you to get on the journey to begin to practice more freely and alone, comfortably at home on your mat. All you need is your mat. You don't need additional equipment or props. They can be engaging, but alone consistently on the mat sets you on the path and it gives you more comfortability. It gives you the answers that you're able to drive your practice forward. Let's begin. Starting in single seated. Hero's pose is very important. It really allows our knee rotation as well as our foot rotation, which is also essential for our mobility as well as to driving us into further back bends. Okay? Good. We're just going to slow in 2 or 3 breaths here. With time, you're able to sit on books or blocks to just help you get comfortable in this seated pose. Now we need to come into eagle wrap, which allows us to come into eagle wrap here, just to open and intensify the stretch within our shoulder blades. Now as we're sitting up, pressing into sitting here, we're going to be able to stretch apart our shoulders into our ends. Good. Stretching further from stretch. Good. Try to lift them up here, our shoulders up, as well as trying to separate them into our shoulder rotation, really engaging our shoulder rotation here. The shoulder rotation is really essential for our down dog, all the way from down dog up to our plow pose, which is the climax of our practice. It lifts up the body and educates the shoulder rotation engaging. Deep stretch here. Good. We're going to come up into camel pose, okay? Feel the chest lifting, sternum lifts, shoulder rotation engaging, just as we did with ego wrap. Good. Come down. We do it again, okay? I'm just moving around to get more angle. Put a bit more angle here. Into our hero's pose. Try to avoid locking our big toes together. This blocks you from moving in further. Good. Open. Feel the shoulder knee rotation, the foot rotation. Open the shoulders, the chest through the sternum. Good. Then we lift it up into camel pose. Deep backbends here. Breathe it in. Good. Come down. Just be gentle. Within time, our knee rotation starts to get activated as well as our foot rotation, okay? It is very important to get deeper and deeper into our heroes variations, okay? As we're coming down, just slowly one breath here. We come down. Feel that entire engagement all the way from the quadriceps up to the quads. Feel the hamstrings lifted here, engaging even more intently. Good. Take one more breath here. Good. Come out of the practice. Into camel pose. Deep stretch. Feel the lifting through the pelvic floor. Drawing it out. Feel the tailbone really supporting here. Good. Giving one more lift. Good. Come down here. And you rest it back in child's pose. Big toes touching, okay? Good. So we'll begin in our Vinyasa flow, okay? We're just going to start our form. Open up the entire hand. Each and every finger should stand alone, making sure that our hand tilts about 15 degrees to the opposite feet, the opposite hand actually. Now we're trying to get our feet as well as our knee ratio correct here. So our knees should be above our hips here, and making sure that we're just lifting up into the ceiling. And as you do so, we descend the heels. Good. Lift up the chest into shoulder rotation. Lift up the sternum. Good. Lift them up into the opposite ends, okay? Good. Take in one more breath here, just slap it in. And come into our shoulder rotation action going on really here. More in a dynamic way. Then when we begin in our eagle pose, lift. Should feel really good. Intently here. Good. We need to lift up our left hip here in a three-legged dog. Try to stay out of your shoulders as much as possible. We square it up and we come up here. Okay, now we need to come into Virasana 1, 2, and then we're just going to reverse it, okay? Reverse, back here, and then we're just going to square. Up here, we might be able to just come up. Feel the gluteal muscle lifting here and engaged. Good. Now we're going to jump about 4.5 feet apart I'm just going to come up here into mountain. Good, and we jump on up. Good, and we're going to evolve the triangle here, okay? Should be a very good side stretch for the side body here. So we're anchoring in this by pressing in the circumference of our heels. Gaze up to the ceiling. Good. And we reverse and come to the second side. Press in the circumference of your heels. Come to that deep, deep stretch. Holding up your torso by through the strength of your feet and the legs here. Good. Feel that engagement coming on up. And then we're just going to jump into mountain Tadasana. Good. Just take a little breather here in mountain Tadasana. Now we're going to come to tree pose, okay? Engaging our balance here. Tree pose. We're going to tell ourselves, I have balance, and we have balance, okay? I have balance today. Stretch out the gluteal muscles here, okay? Feel that the glutes are very much stretched out here. Engaging, pressing, nice and forward. Good. And might be able to come into a shoulder stretch here as well. Really intent here. It's engaging our balance really. Good. Go in and out. Just going to come to the front here. And then we're able to pick up on the strength of our legs here. Good. Come into a wide tree branching out of the sky. Lift up the torso through the strength of our legs here. Balance. Good. We're going to come into eagle wrap. Try to manually separate the tissues lining our shoulders here. And just to give it a deep stretch from the tip of our shoulder into the sternum, all the way up through the deltoids to the opposite end. Just separate them up. Lifting the shoulders up a little, protruding them up higher. Hold in. Try not to hold your breath, okay? Breathe in and out. Open the shoulders even more. Squeeze it. Just inside. It's possible. Separate the shoulders here. Lift them higher. Tilt. Good. Coming up. Into mountain. We're just going to jump our feet 4.5 feet apart. Good. And we come into a forward bend here. As we're coming into forward bend, we're pushing our sitting towards the back of the mat, okay? Good. Stretch that one out. Breathe in. Stretch, stretch. Open the hamstrings. Nice deep release. Especially if you're a runner, you should feel really good. Good. Now, I'm just going to cut the forward fold here. Lift and up, tilt. Deeper and deeper, pressing into the floor here through the circumference of our heels. Good. Now, putting our hands here in our waistline and we're coming on up. And we're just going to jump back into mountain pose. Good. Whether it's one jump or several, it should be fine. It's just pressing our way back into mountain or Tadasana, okay? Mountain pose. Good. We're just going to square it up and we're going to shoot back into our flow, okay? Plank. Gaze to the front of the mat here. Open the shoulders. Stretch the hip line. Good. Come to upward dog. Plank. Down. Down. Good. Need to lift up. Alright. Hip here. No, open up. We square it here. And we're just going to come into Virasana. 1, 2, reverse. Good. And we're just going to come into a standing pose. Here. So you don't want to just fix up around here. Reverse, sit in. Lift up the chest. Lift up the chest, revolve more. Good. Now we're just going to come here into our standing pose. Okay? Good. Now we're going to jump our feet in to mountain, Dandasana. Good. Lift our feet here. And then we're going to jump 4 feet apart again, 3 to 4 feet apart, and we're going to come into triangle pose. Squaring up to a 90 degree and a 45 degree angle. We're just going to come into our lift here in triangle pose. Our arms should be in the same plane. Gaze up to the ceiling. Try to lift and go deeper into the side body stretch on both ends. Feel it deep into our hips, lifting up our torso through the strength of our legs here, anchoring really through the heel, just by pressing in the circumference of our heels into the mat. Good. Second side. We're going to jump and come into Tadasana. And then again, out. Good. Feel the lifting really. Taking in. Good. Coming back. Jumping in, okay? Good. Now we're going to come into our standing pose. We're just going to do tree pose. We're not doing Virasana 1, 2, or Virasana 3 actually, yet. We're just coming into tree pose here. As we're coming into tree pose, feel the glutes really, really engaged here, okay? Good. Actually, I'll just start with the back shot. Feel the gluteal muscle really, really engaged here. Poke out the glutes. Good. Gives us a nice, stable balance. Okay, good. And we're just going to raise up our tree pose. Good. Stretch. Good. Coming out. And you might be able to just stretch out our shoulders here. So deep shoulder stretch. We need to just open up for our back bends. So when we come into back bends, the shield should be taking away. Good. Try avoiding standing in the same spot where there's a dent in on your mat. It just affects your stability, okay? Good. So we're going to come to eagle right here. Try to lift up the shoulders up higher. Then we're just going to separate the tissues, lining our shoulders step by step. or in German, Schritt für Schritt. Upward. Separate them deeply, feel the lifting of the separation here. Just still engaging in our shoulder back bends. Deep back bends. Open up the sternum. Separating the sternum. So good. Lift. When it gets wobbly, it's fine. As long as you're centered, it's fine, okay? Opening the shoulders, separating them. Good. Breathe it in. One more breath here. Good. You feel really, really good. Our shoulders is much more engaging now. We're ready for back bends, okay? Good. So just square it up here. And then we're just going to jump back, okay? Mountain pose. Dandasana. Trikonasana. And as you come into Trikonasana here, just try to engage by really working on our basics, okay? Back into shape. And it's really getting comfortable. Deep, deep. About a 90-degree arch between the two legs here. Which allows us to get deeper and deeper into our hip line. Okay, good. Now we're going to flow again. So we come into the butt midway through the mat, and then we're just going to jump. With our right leg raised here in plank. Open up the front of the mat, open the chest, shoulder rotation still engaging here. Open and flex. Okay, leave out the plank, the second plank, and then just come to down dog, okay? Lifting up our left hip, come all the way up here. Virasana 1. Virasana 2 actually. Now we're going to reach all the way up to Virasana 3. But first we need to just evolve and cartwheel our way here. Good. We come into our hip opener here. It might be more comfortable to just put our right leg or right knee down, but I want to encourage you to just open our hip from this position, okay? Open up more, wider and more intently. Good. We sit down. Might be able to come into a crescent stretch here in our low lunge. Good. Feel it more intently. Put down our right hand. Press in the circumference with the base of the hand. Palm. Good. Gaze on up. Bring to center it up. Now we need to come into our pigeon pose, but we want to just anchor it in such a way that we don't lose the form when we come down. Okay. Good. This is just stretch more here. Not really to just come down, but just give a nice stretch. Stretching out the hip here. Really, really feels engaged, supported. We're coming into a quad stretch here. Feel that gluteal stretch as well. Now we can just push it back. And then we're going to come into Virasana 3, 2, plank, dancer's pose, kick, good, and then down, okay? Just going to be at the center, the center line here. Just breathe in. 1 or 2 slowly, 1 or 2 breaths here into Virasana. Mountain pose. We're now going to come into our forward fold, okay? As we come into our forward fold, we just slow in. 1 more breath here. Take a gratitude moment into Virasana. Here, we're able to start our weekend with a nice flow. Good, we come down. Or might be able to just flow it on down. Floating nicely. First forward fold, we don't need to come down this intensely, okay? Might be able to bend our knee, same this one. Straighten here. And then we'll try to come in, but so persevere and anything. Working on the core. Good. Come down. Bend the flow. Resisting the urge to come into wild thing here. Okay, let's go into our hip opener here. We might be able to tilt our right foot to the upper quadrant of the mat here. This allows us to come deeper into our hip here, okay? Now our left knee is not yet on the floor. We're just opening and engaging both our leg here, all the way from the hamstrings to the quads, as well as our hip right here, okay? It's a little bit one more breath here to feel really, really good, hip opener. Going to still our left knee to the floor, gazing up to the ceiling. We might be able to come to the palm of our left hand here. There's our anchor. Good, stretch the quad one. Breathe in, okay? Nice deep stretch here. Good. Stretch. Now we do come into our pigeon. The intent is not really to go deeper into pigeon today. I want us to feel that deep hip stretch as well as still do you feel it? As well as the quads and the hamstrings, they feel really good. Staying on your hips. Right. Taking giant breaths as well. Any chances, it's fine. Stretching the quads here, hold it in, might be able to come into a forward gaze here. Oh, we'll just look at the forward. Yeah. Good. Just a bit in. Now we're going to come into Virasana 3 here. So left. Good. In, out. No, it's correct. Yeah. Should be in the same plane, okay? Our left leg should be in the same plane. Good. Come to that plane here. Good. I'm going to come into this pose here. This flow. Going into this pose. Lift. Take a gratitude moment here, okay? Now we flow more intensely down. Forward bend here. here, okay? Vinyasa. Gaze to the front of the neck, shoulder rotation still actively. Lift up the sternum, try to open into back bends here. Good. Now we need to come into our binds here. We might be able to take a wrist bind actually. Open up more. And stand still. And our hamstring stretch here. The second side. The wrist bind. Gaze to the ceiling. Good. Good. Should feel really, really good. Okay, now we're going to come into Prasarita. Just going to straighten up our arms here so that we're ready to flow. Okay? Good. Let's flow. Flow, flow. Straighten up our neck here. Just survey the entire torso. Come to Prasarita forward fold here actually. The same as we did before, but this one is more intently, okay? Good. Sitting back to the back of the mat. Try to really push the sitting bones back through all the way from the crown of our head to our tailbone. We angle it back. You might be able to come to the crown of our heads here if it's possible. Good. Feel the stretch action involved here. Good. We are inverted. Now we'll be able to come into our backbends here. Now note we are not in our neck at all. Good. We just come all the way out of the neck. Open the hip. Move wider. Move gently. Good. Flex and point. Backbends. Good. Come down. See your leg going rightly. Now we're going to tripod. You just angle to the opposite elbows here. It just gives us room as we come into tripod here. Or our range actually. Now the temptation is to move our elbows away when we come up. We just want to avoid this, okay? So that we're more measured. Okay? Good. Second side. Coming more deeper, into backbends here. Good. That's the same side. Tripod actually. Just take a little breather here in simple seated or in heroes. And as you do so, we feel the engagement still continuing, allowing us to press further into the intensity, okay? Lift up the sternum here, gaze to the back of the mat. Pick a point and just focus on it, okay? Good. Now we are really very much actively engaging into our backbends here, okay? We are using sort of our inverted or reclined pigeon to just stretch the spine down more, and more to get deeper into backbends in here. With time, the spine shall form a perfect backbends here, okay? Good. Do the second side. Good. Star. Good. Might be able to raise it up a little. Good. Straight away. Good. Breathe in. We're going to just stretch it up into child's pose, big toes touching. Good. We come to bridge pose here. Bridge pose. Open. We come into wheel pose, come to the crown of our heads, and we lift up. Good, come down. Okay, good. You happy, baby? Now we're climaxing into our final pose, which is the plow pose. Into plow pose, okay? So closing up here in our first class of today,